Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our virtual Open Enrollment Fair session. During today's session, we will go over vision benefits with VSP. Before we get started, I would like to brief everyone on a couple housekeeping items. All attendees are muted and will be muted throughout the presentation. If you have a question, please type it in the Q&A box located on the lower right of your monitor. All questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. Be informed that if you type a question in the Q&A box, everyone attending the session will not see your question nor your name. If you have a question that is confidential, please contact the Benefits Division directly. Lastly, today's webinar is being recorded. A copy will be posted on the Benefits Open Enrollment website. At this time, I will turn it over to our presenter, Carla Hanel.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Nidra. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just get started. I thought I would just start off by giving a few stats and trends that we're seeing in the marketplace. And then, we'll move into your plan and how to access your benefits, and then talk about the value adds that you all have access to that will help save on that out-of-pocket cost. And then just discuss, how to access those benefits and the tools that you have. So thank you so much for joining. So just a little bit about our little virtual reality that we're all living in right now, between an increase in remote work and distance learning and binge watching TV, which I've been doing. We're all spending way too much time in front of our digital devices. And due to COVID-19, about 42% of Americans are now working from home, and I would imagine that's going to continue going forward. And then among those who report spending more time on at least one device, 3 in 5 are concerned about the impact that increased screen time has on our eyes. And our doctors are actually seeing a big change too. They reported a 45% increase in reports of digital eye strain, compared to 2019. So while no one is sure how this increase in screen time will impact our vision over time, it really is truly important for everyone to go in and get an eye exam, whether you need a prescription or not. Blue light and digital eye strain are impacting most of us, and it's never been more important for everyone to get an annual eye exam. Just a little bit about blue light. For those of you that are not familiar with it, it's everywhere. Even in sunlight, but it radiates off of our computer and our phone screens, and it really does contain significant concentrated amounts that are difficult for our eyes to filter out. So, prolonged exposure to blue light leads to eye strain, headaches, and can negatively affect your sleep. So a little bit about your provider network. As you probably all are familiar with, that we have almost every single independent doctor in our network. But within the independent doctors, we do also have what we call our Premier program. So when you do go to VSP.com and you click on find a VSP provider, you might see the orange banner that says Premier. Really what that means is that it doesn't mean that they're better doctors than the others. It just means that they have a lot of our value adds that, help reduces the out-of-pocket. They also do warranty on frame brands and so forth. And then VisionWorks is mentioned here. If you access benefits outside of California, you'll see VisionWorks everywhere. We actually own VisionWorks. So more to come on that. I think our plan is to, bring on VisionWorks here in the next couple of years. And then we have online retail store called Iconic, and it really truly is an extension of our in-network provider network. And as you could figure that, a lot of people used Iconic during COVID because they didn't want to, go out and see their, provider. They wanted to stay home. So you can access your benefits on this online retail store. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next slide. And then you also have Costco and Walmart and Pearl Visions. So a little bit more about Iconic. Again, it's an in-network provider network. So you just simply upload your prescription. There's virtual try-on. So it's really great. Even if you don't buy on Iconic, if you just want to try on different styles of frames, it's a good way to see what you look like in those certain type of frames. But, once you do a virtual try on, you can click your lens package, and then you just click on use my benefits, and then you're just be responsible for anything over that you would normally be responsible for at any other in-network provider. There's free shipping, free returns, and there's transparent package pricing. And then on average, when you use your benefit, it's about $31 out of pocket. Oh, and I do want to mention too on this is that even if you go to a VSP provider and you access your benefits, you can also get a 20% discount on sunglasses on Iconic as well. So, or you can just get, throughout the year, there's promotions on Iconic for contact lenses. So this is a snapshot of your plan design. You have our Premier Signature plan, and you have that 12-12-24 frequency. So exam every year, lenses every year, frames every 2 years, and you have a $15 total copayment. Your frame allowance is $150, and that goes towards any type of frame on the market today. And then what the doctors will do is they'll take 20% off the overages, and the remaining will be your out of pocket. But you also have $170 for featured frames. So you get that additional $20. And I'll talk a little bit about what is considered a feature frame in the next couple slides. And then if you do want to go to Walmart or Costco, the frame allowance there is $80. And that really is the equivalent of $150 anywhere else, just because their average cost of frames there is at $68. Now, what's new for January 1, 2022, your contact lens allowance is increasing from $130 to $150. So that $150 goes towards, the fitting and evaluation and any type of contact lens that you purchase. And then you have covered lens enhancements. So your standard progressives are covered in full, polycarbonate lenses are covered in full, and scratch coating lenses are covered in full. And then you also have a laser vision care allowance. So you have $500 per eye for that. So if you go to a VSP surgery center that participates, the doctors or the surgeons will take, discount off. So on average, a 15% discount, and then your allowance will apply. As I mentioned, you get an additional $20 on featured frame brands. And this slide is just really shows you what is considered a featured frame brand. So Longchamp, Nike, BB, Victoria Beckham, Ferragamo's, just to name a few. And then I also want to mention that we throughout the year have an additional $40 for selected frame brands. And right now until, starting 7/1 until the end of October, you get an additional $40. So instead of $150, you have $190 if you purchase Flexon, Lacoste, Salvador, Ferragamo's, Pure, and Cole Haan. And all this can be found on VSP.com under offers. And once that promotion ends for that additional 40, a new promotion will begin. So in addition to, the extra 20 or the extra 40 for featured frame brands, there are so many other value adds that you have access to. So you can go to VSP.com under offers. You'll see information on, rebates for contact lenses. So Bausch & Lomb has up to a $250 rebate for an annual supply of eligible contacts, and that goes through the end of the year. There's, as I mentioned, laser surgery discounts. There's a couple there. So again, the doctors would take the discount and then apply your $500 per eye. There's certain type discounts on certain type of lenses. So like SunSync and Unity is VSP manufactured lenses. And so we pass on member savings to you all. And then Tech Shield Blue is savings that block the blue light filtering from your computers and from your digital devices. We do have hearing aid discounts. I'll talk a little bit more about that. We also have what we call VSP Simple Values. And if you click on that, there's entertainment discounts, there's, telehealth discounts, there's, prescription discounts, and so much more. Oh, and I do want to mention too that What's new on Iconic and savings for you all as well is that there's a 20% saving on ready-made blue light glasses that are non-prescription. So if for those of you that don't have a prescription, but you still want to block that blue light from your devices, you can go on Iconic and purchase one of those. And on average, it's $69. A little bit about the hearing aid discount. So it's on up to a 60% discount. The great thing about this is that even if you don't need a hearing aid, you can sign up for guest members. So guest members can be, extended family members such as parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, siblings, anyone that might need a hearing aid, you can sign them up and they have access to that 60% discount as well. There's a nationwide network of more than 5,500 licensed hearing aid professionals throughout the US. And it really is straightforward, nationally fixed pricing and a wide selection of hearing aids. So they have the newest technology, and then they have a little bit older technology where it's the costs are a little bit less. There is a 45-day trial and 3 provider visits, and then you get also 48 free batteries per hearing aid. Now, using your benefit is really easy. So there is no claim forms or, cards, member cards. You just simply go on VSP.com, click on find a doctor, call that doctor and tell them that you have VSP. Or you can even call our 800 number and have them look up a doctor for you. Once you find that doctor, just make sure you tell them you have VSP and they'll handle the rest. There is no card needed. If you do prefer a member ID card, you can go on VSP.com and download a member ID card, or you can, upload our app and then just click on member ID card and show it to the provider. But again, you don't need a card. Our doctors will just simply ask you for your name, your last 4 digits of your social, and your date of birth to be able to look you up in the system. So a little bit more about what you have access to online. Once you create a user ID and password, you can pull up your benefit information. So you can see when you last used it, when you're next eligible. There, again, find a provider, online makes it super easy. There's also eyewear and eye care information. So if you're interested about like how blue light affects your eyes, or, how does diabetes affect your eyes and why it's so important to go in for an eye exam. There's so many eye care articles on VSP.com. And then again, you can find all these special offers under, offers, and then print that ID card. And then there's also a well savings statement. So it'll show you what you, for your claim, what you would have paid for if you didn't have VSP versus VSP. So it gives you an idea of how great your benefits are. So thank you so much. I hope I conveyed the importance of getting an eye exam. It's so important to staying healthy. I mean, really, if you think about your eyes are really the only place on your body that has unobstructed views of your blood vessels. So it can tell so much, eye exam can tell so much about your overall health. So thank you so much, everyone. I'll open it up for questions.
Thank you, Carla. We do have a couple of questions.
Okay.
The first one is, my medical insurance covers my eye care needs. Why should I join VSP? What does VSP provide that Kaiser does not?
Now, do you guys have a materials writer under Kaiser, or is it just the exam?
Just the exam.
Yeah, so under VSP, you get glasses or contact lenses. And a lot of Kaiser employees will sometimes, still go to their Kaiser doctor for their eye exam, and then can take their prescription and take it to a VSP provider to get glasses or contacts. So that's really the main difference. You just have that exam under Kaiser, and then under VSP, you have the exam and materials.
Thank you. If I have a dependent, will the contact lens allowance be split among the dependent and the primary account holder, or will each individual be eligible for the allowance?
Each individual will be eligible for the allowance. So anyone that signed up under your plan gets the exact same benefits as you do.
Thank you. Where can we get safety glasses? Will they be eligible?
You can use your benefits for safety. And then what I would recommend is go to VSP.com and then when you click on find a provider, narrow it down to safety. So it'll tell you all the doctors that have, safety eyewear.
Thank you. Can you talk more about the entertainment subcategory from a few slides ago? What is under that?
So entertainment, there's like discounts for going to the zoo or, entertainment parks. Why am I drawing a blank? Like Disney and all that. So there's so much, and that changes throughout the year. So just, I recommend just going on VSP.com, click on simple values, and it pulls up everything that you have access to.
If I get my eyes checked in October, but get glasses in January, will my $15 copay extend to January?
You only pay $15 copay. So if you get your eyes checked before and you already paid that $15 copay, you won't need to pay it again. Did I answer your question on that?
I believe so.
Okay.
An employee missed it. Can you repeat what you said about what employees get at Kaiser versus VSP?
So Kaiser, you just have an exam that's covered, and I'm not sure what your copay is at Kaiser. Under VSP, you get an exam that's covered in full. You have that $15 copay, and then you can either get glasses or contact lenses. Under Kaiser, you don't really have a materials benefit. You just have an exam.
What happens if I go to an out-of-network provider?
If you go to out-of-network provider, you just you can go on VSP.com and click on out-of-network form, and then just fill it in and attach your receipt, and then you'll get reimbursed out-of-network allowances. Or you can just call our 800 number and they can walk you through how to get reimbursed as well.
To tag on to that, is Mexico included in out-of-network? We have a lot of employees who go down there.
Yes, that would be out-of-network.
Do you generally recommend VSP coverage to those without vision issues? I received vision correction, LASIK, and no longer need eyeglasses.
I do. I recommend getting an annual eye exam because I mentioned that, again, it's really, the only place on your body where you have unobstructed views of your blood vessels. So it does tell so much about your overall health. And an eye exam can, find chronic conditions like, diabetes or hypertension, high cholesterol, the starts of glaucoma or macular degeneration. So much can be found through, I've even heard that a person, had a brain tumor and that was found during an eye exam. So it's really important to go in every year to get an eye exam, whether you need, a prescription or not.
Is the contact lens exam and fitting fully covered?
The contact lens exam, the fitting and evaluation comes out of that contact lens allowance. So you have that $150 that goes towards, contacts and the fitting and evaluation.
I might have some vision problems that need to be looked into. Do the VSP doctors have the ability to diagnose, or are the VSP doctors only able to do a basic exam and provide a glasses subscription versus a specialist at Kaiser?
The doctor can diagnose. And so if you want to go to an MD under VSP, or ophthalmologist, you can find a VSP provider that, just click on find a VSP provider and click on MD, or ODs can diagnose as well. What they'll do is they can find signs and symptoms. So say, they see leaky blood vessels or something. That's a sign of, it could be a sign of diabetes. And then they can refer you to your primary care to get, your A1C checked, for high cholesterol. It's what they consider like, it's called corneal arcus, which is a ring around your eye. Sometimes it's white, and then sometimes it's kind of this orangey. And that's a leading indicator of high cholesterol. So there's so many things that can be told, can be seen through a VSP or an exam, I'm sorry.
Is Lens Crafters out of network?
Lens Crafters is out of network.
If I already had my exam and frames in the beginning of the year, do I qualify for a refresher at the end of the year?
No. So you can either get glasses or contact lenses one time a year. And then, yes. And then, but your frames are every 2 years. So you can get on that off year. So say this year you get exam, lenses, and frames. And next year you could get contact lenses if you wanted to. And then the next year get glasses.
Can you provide an estimate for an exam and fitting fee?
Typically on average, I see the fitting and evaluation ranging from, like $60. Sometimes doctors charge, a higher amount depending on how hard a fit you are. But for the most part, I think most doctors charge less than $60.
Is the year based on calendar, or is it a rolling look back year?
It's calendar.
That was the last question we have in now, but I'll give it a minute to see if we have any additional. Those are great questions, everyone. Thank you.
Very great questions.
For anyone who joined late, we will be doing another round of the presentation if you would like to stick around. Where can entertainment offers be found?
Under VSP.com, and then click on offers, and then scroll. I think if you scroll all the way down and see simple values, click on that.
Just waiting to see if any more come through. Do I have to become a VSP member in order to take advantage of the hearing aid discount for my parent?
Yes. Yeah.
A VSP MD mentioned eye surgery. I'm trying to read this. It says VSP MD mentioned to made eye surgery, but KP ophthalmology said you don't need surgery. Can I check out of network? I think someone's looking for a third opinion.
Is it surgery or laser surgery? LASIK. Like anything. So the reason why I'm at any medical surgery on your eyes, such as maybe cataract, or I'm trying to think of what else would be under your medical plan. Now under VSP, you do have that laser surgery discount, or you get the $500, you get the discount, and then you get the $500 per eye. And they're saying that you don't need, I'm not sure if they're saying you don't need laser surgery.
Yes, they clarified laser surgery.
Oh, laser surgery. Can you get that's a good question. I'm assuming so, because it's really just, so you're just talking about a consultation to see if you qualify or not.
I believe so.
Yeah, that you kind of stumped me on that. I don't know if they would charge you for a consultation or not on a third a third consultation. I'll have to get back with you on that.
Okay, thank you. Does Costco accept VSP?
Costco does, yes. I do want to mention though, that every Costco optical store, so where you get your glasses or contact lenses, is in network, but not every provider. So if you went to the Costco doctors, not every Costco doctor is in our network. And really that's because they're not Costco employees. And so they can choose to participate or not. I will say here in San Diego, about half are in network and half aren't. If you do go to a Costco doctor, you can always just submit your out-of-network claim form for your exam, and then you can, take it to the Costco optical and get your glasses. But most people, I think, typically go to their VSP doctor that they've been going to, and then take their prescription and go to Costco to get it filled.
Thank you. That was the last question for now. Let's give it a minute. Is a consultation for LASIK covered?
A free consultation is covered under, the discount, but I don't know how many. I think just one would be covered for a free consultation.
All right. Not seeing any more. Carla, it's 10:28, so if we want to just give it maybe 2 minutes, see if any more come through, and then we could go through the presentation one more time for anyone who joined late.
Go ahead and move it to the beginning.
So if anyone did join late or is just joining us, please feel free to stick around. We're going to do another round of the presentation, and this full recording will be posted on our open enrollment website by tomorrow. So if anybody needs to view it later or go back to anything, you'll be able to. All right, with no further questions, Carla, I'll let you take it away again for another presentation.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to start off by giving you a few stats and trends that we're seeing in the marketplace, and then move into your plan and how to access benefits, and then talk about some value adds that help reduce the overall out-of-pocket, and then discuss the tools that you have in place to access benefits and to find out all the information that you need. So a little bit about our virtual reality. We are all living in this crazy virtual reality, between an increase in remote work, distance learning, binge watching TV. We're spending way more time than ever in front of our digital devices. And just a couple stats, due to COVID-19, about 42% of Americans are now working from home. And I would imagine that's going to continue going forward, or a lot of people are continuing. And among those who report spending more time on at least one device, 3 and 5 are concerned about the impact that screen time will have on their eyes. And VSP doctors are seeing that change too. They're reporting a 45% increase in reports of digital eye strain compared to 2019. So while we really aren't sure how this increased screen time will impact our vision over time, it's important for everyone to take care of their eyes. Blue light and digital eye strain are really impacting most of us. It's never been more crucial for everyone to get an annual eye exam, whether they currently need a prescription or not. A little bit about blue light for those of you that are not familiar. Blue light is really everywhere. So it's even in sunlight, but computer and phone screens, contain significant concentrated amounts that are difficult for your eyes to kind of filter out. So prolonged exposure to blue light can lead to eye strain, headaches, and can negatively affect your sleep. So moving on to a little bit about your network. As you know, our network makes up a lot of the independent doctors. We have almost every single independent doctor here in Southern California in our network. Within independent doctors, we have what we call a premier program provider. So if you do go to VSP.com and you click on, find a VSP provider, you might see an orange banner that says Premier. And really what that means is that it's our providers that have a lot of our value adds, like featured frame brands that I'll talk a little bit about, discounts on certain type of lenses and so forth to help reduce that out of pocket. They also do like extended warranties on your frames and so forth. And then we have our online retail store called Iconic, and it really truly is an extension of our in-network provider network. I'll talk a little bit more about that. And then you have Costco, and you do have Walmart in the network as well. Now, Iconic, there was a huge uptick in Iconic utilization because, as you would expect, people didn't want to go out during the pandemic, but still needed to use their benefits. So this is really an easy way to do it. You just simply upload your prescription. There's virtual try-on, which is great. It's live virtual try-on. And then you could click on a transparent package pricing and then click on use my benefits. And you're just be responsible for anything over you would normally be responsible for at any other in-network provider. There's free shipping, free returns, so super easy to use. Even if you use your benefits somewhere else, you might want to check on Iconic every so often. We do have promotions going on. You can always get a 20% discount on sunglasses or, additional or non-prescription blue light glasses. There's also promotions for contact lenses as well, discounts throughout the year. So I highly recommend just checking it out. Now here's your plan design today. So you have our premier plan called our signature plan. You have a 12-12-24 frequency. So exam every year, lenses every year, frames every 2 years. You have a $15 total copayment. So you only pay that $15 copay once for exam and glasses. And then you have a $150 frame allowance. And that goes towards any type of frame on the market. So if you pick, say you have you pick a $200 frame, the doctor will take 20% off and the remaining will be your out of pocket. You have $170 for featured frames. So you get an additional $20 for certain featured frames. So I will talk a little bit more about that in the next slide. And then you have an $80 allowance at Costco and Walmart. And really the reason why it's lower than that $150, it's really equivalent. And that's because at Costco and Walmart, the average cost for frames is $68. And then contact lenses, you have a $150 allowance starting January 1 of 2022. Currently it's $130. So that $150 allowance goes towards contacts and any fitting and evaluation fees. And then you have covered lens enhancements. So standard progressive lenses are covered in full, polycarbonate lenses are covered in full, and scratch coatings are covered in full. So as I mentioned, you get an extra $20 on featured frames. This is a snapshot of what we consider a feature frame. So Longchamp, Victoria Beckham, Nike, Dragon, BB, just to name a few. And then throughout the year, we do have an additional $40 for featured frame, for selected frame brands. And right now we have, if you all get a Flexon or Lacoste or Ferragamo's, Pure or Polhan, you get an additional $40 on top of your frame allowance. So instead of that 150, you have 190. That promotion goes on until the end of October. And then once that ends, there will be a new promotion that comes on for an additional 40 with different frame brands. So in addition to the extra 20 and extra 40 for feature frame brands, there are so many other value adds that you have access to help reduce that out-of-pocket cost. You have rebates on contact lenses. So Bausch & Lomb has up to a $250 rebate that is on an annual supply of eligible contacts through the end of the year. There's discounts on certain type of lenses. So SunSync, Unity, Tech Shield. Tech Shield lenses are what blocks the blue light that radiates off of our computers and digital screens. There's, laser surgery discounts. So, you get a discount and then you also have a benefit for $500 per eye applied. So you get the discount first and then you get $500 per eye for laser surgery. And then there's hearing aid discounts. I'll talk a little bit about it. And then VSP simple values. So if you go to VSP.com and click offers and click on simple values, there's so many discounts. So discounts on certain prescriptions, entertainment, telehealth, telemedicine, and so much more. So I encourage you to go online and check that out. And then we have a partnership with True Hearing, and it's up to a 60% discount on hearing aids. And even if you don't need a hearing aid, you can sign up for guest members. So you can sign up, extended family members such as parents, grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, anyone that might need a hearing aid, they have access to that 60% discount as well. There's a nationwide network of more than 5,500 licensed hearing aid professionals. And it really is a straightforward nationally fixed pricing. So there's all different selection of hearing aids. They have the newest technology ones that you can barely even see in your ears. And then, they have the older technology that is more affordable. And then you get 48 free batteries and 3 provider visits with this discount as well. Now, using VSP is super easy. I highly recommend that you go on VSP.com and set up an account and set up a user ID. And then once you do that, you can pull up your benefits. You can see when you last used your benefits, when you're next eligible. You can find a VSP provider that way, and then find those value adds as well. But I just want to mention that there are no claim forms or cards. You just you don't have a member card. You don't need one. So you just find a VSP provider, call them, tell them you have VSP, and go in, and then they handle the rest for you. Or you can call our 800 number and they can help you find a provider as well. And then just to more information about our website, there's so much on there. Again, you can view your benefit information, see when you're next eligible, you can find that VSP provider. But there's also an eyewear gallery. So it shows you, like the latest trends on eyewear. There's also eye care information. So if you're interested in maybe how diabetes affects your eyes, or how blue light affects your eyes, or when should your child go in for their first eye exam, all that can be found on, VSP.com under eye care information. And then again, you can find the special offers, those change throughout the year. And if you are the person that really wants an ID card, you certainly can print one from our VSP.com, or you can even download our app and then click on member ID and then show your doctor. Again, our doctors don't need it to access benefits. Or you can just give us a call if you don't want to go online and find all this information out. So thank you so much. And, I hope that I conveyed the importance of getting an eye exam. mentioned in the last meeting that your eyes are really the only place on your body where you have unobstructed views of your blood vessels. So it does tell so much about your overall health. So doctors can find signs and symptoms of diabetes, high cholesterol, hypertension, and then, eye conditions such as macular degeneration and glaucoma. So it's really important to go in and get an annual eye exam, even though you may not need a prescription. So thank you so much. I'm going to open it up to questions.
Carla, we just have a couple.
Okay.
What happens if I go to an out-of-network provider?
If you go to an out-of-network provider, you just would pay the claim upfront, and then you can go on VSP.com and click on a network claim form, and then just fill it in and then hit submit with and attach your receipt, and then you'll get reimbursed your out-of-network allowances. Or you just can call our 800 number and they can help you with that as well.
And how do we get notified on promotional discounts?
If you go set up a user ID and password, you will get notifications that way. If you sign up on Iconic, you'll also get notifications through Iconic. And I do want to mention on VSP.com, there is what we call an Envision newsletter, and you can sign yourself up to receive that monthly. And it's really great because it lists all of our promotions, and then it also talks about eye health and eye wear trends and so much more. So that newsletter is a great resource.
Thank you. That was the last question that we have in here. I'll give it a minute to see if we have any more that come through.
Okay.
You're getting a couple thank yous in here.
Thank you for attending.
We'll give it another minute to see if there are any last minute questions. Otherwise, we can wrap up. And again, this full presentation, both of them have been recorded, and it will be posted on our open enrollment website if anybody wants to come back to it. Is there more information on Plan B on the VSP website?
Just on the frequency. So the Plan B really means it's kind of an internal name. So we probably should have just taken B off. But really what B means is the frequency. So it's where you get an exam every year, lenses every year, frames every 2 years, or contact lenses every year. So really that's what the Plan B is. But as far as your plan details, yes, you can go on VSP.com. Once you sign in, it'll pull up your exact plan.
Where can we find the non-eye discounts?
VSP.com and then click on offers.
And Carla, can current employees who are not members look at those offers to decide if they want to enroll for 2022?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, I think that we are, let's see. Does Sharp Optical accept VSP?
They do.
These are great questions, everyone. Thank you for participating.
These are really great questions.
All right, I think that we are all finished with questions. If anyone does have any lingering questions, please feel free to visit our open enrollment website. We have a lot of great information on there, but you can also always reach out to our employee benefits division here at the county. Carla, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for joining.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thank you. You too.